Daybreak. The Daybreak Show.
It's not only Abeokuta that is suffering. Lagos is suffering. Abuja is suffering. Some other Ibadan, go to Ibadan. But it's only here that you can even walk in and get fuel in some stations. Go along the Ibadan axis and you see what is happening. So it's not as if NNPC does not know what is happening. They know, but they don't. I don't think they had the lever to tell the public why they are doing this short supply of a thing. Because those we buy from, they will tell us that it is what they get that they will sell. Now, most of them have not been getting fuel. So that's the situation.
And I hope they don't forget that for whatever action or for whatever decision they take, it will affect the masses, because the citizens are the ones that would actually bear the brunt. It's
already affecting the masses. This is a product that we are supposed to sell 165 naira. To even buy from the depot over there, as at this morning, I was told 166 naira. To even buy without trucking, without other expenses that will go along with it. So by the time it comes to Abeokuta, it cannot be sold less than 180 naira. That's the truth. And we had a meeting last week, and our decision was it's either we close shop or we, for whatever is available, let us sell at this price. If it was at that time, I think the price was even 157, 158. Yesterday it was 163. When I called this morning my vehicles, he said, Oga, we are hearing of 165, 166. If I say, okay, go ahead and buy, we will pay the balance. By the time I add the truck, the haulage price, that is to truck from Lagos to my destination, you know what it means. You and I know what diesel is saying now. As of January this year, you are selling diesel for 300 and some stations 315, maximally 325 naira per liter. It was even high then. In our estimation, it was high. January this year. Today, diesel is being sold between 780 and 820 naira per liter. Mostly in Abeokuta, 800 naira. But some part of Lagos, even Lagos, 820 naira. Some parts, 780 naira. Diesel that used to be just 300 and something in January this year, less than 6 months. So that's the situation, and nobody's saying anything. You and I, you are using diesel too, so you know what I'm talking about. So even the transporters will tell you that even to haulage the product from Lagos, excuse me, from Lagos to Abeokuta or to wherever in Ogun State, it has also increased. So we know it used to be 4 naira from Lagos. Now they are talking of 8 naira, 10 naira per liter. Even if you are unlucky and you have to haul diesel from Lagos to Abeokuta, for example, they will take 10 naira from you, and you are asking question, why difference of 2 naira? Since it covers the same distance and covers the same quantity, they will tell you that diesel is heavier. The trailer will move sluggishly and thereby consume more. Honestly, it's a mess situation.
All right. So, what alternative measures do you think the federal government and NNPC should put together so that we would not have cases of fuel scarcity again, at least for the time?
I remember sometimes in March last year, 2021, the federal government laid out several millions of dollars to rehabilitate Port Harcourt refinery, and they told us by the end of last year, they will have reached a particular stage. By 12 months, which lapsed already in March this year, they will have reached a particular stage. Then in 24 months, totally, that refinery will have been completed. Totally. That was what we were told when the money was laid out. But up till now, we have not had any progress. I'm not saying nothing is being done, but the public have not been intimated of the progress so far on that refinery. But what you and I know today is that none of the refinery is working, and we rely 100% on importation of the product. And once there's an hiccup over there, there will be. So what is happening between Ukraine and Russia? They are very, very far off from us. And Nigeria as a producer is not supposed to have the problem. We are supposed to take advantage of whatever is happening over there and push products to them. And you can imagine what the a barrel of crude is as of today, over $120. It has never been so in the history of import and exportation of oil, and we are supposed to take the advantage, but it is the negative here. So
this morning on my way here, I discovered that the NNPC mega station is selling fuel, and they sold 2 days ago too. So if they are getting fuel, does it mean that something has been done, or they are also buying from the private depots?
No, I said NNPC is the sole importer, so they have designated a particular depot. I don't want to be mentioning names now. A particular depot in Lagos. None of their own depot is working now.
Okay.
What they are supposed to have done is to dump the product, whatever product, at the Atlas Cove Jetty in Apapa and push to Mosimi. Mosimi invariably will push back to Lagos depot, which is at Ejigbo. Then push to Ibadan, Apata here. Then from Ibadan they will push to Ilorin. That's the network. From Mosimi again they will push to Ore. That's how they serve the Southwest as a whole. But now that one part of their problem, according to them, is that the pipeline vandals are still there. They vandalize pipelines from Atlas Cove Jetty in Lagos to Mosimi, from Mosimi to Ibadan, from Ibadan to Ilorin, and all over. And by the time they say they are pushing 5 million liters, Mosimi may say they have not received more than 3.5 or 4 million. So they have lost 1 million, along the route. And so to that extent, that's how they abandoned that place. And they now designated a party, one of the depots, from the private owners, they designated a particular depot that we will dump our products here. Then all these mega stations will go there. But you can imagine how many mega stations we have. Even in that exists, they cause wahala with their trucks. Because you can imagine mega stations in Oshogbo, in Ogbomoso, Ilorin, Ibadan, Interland, all Ogun states, Lagos, everybody going to the same place to get supply. So, that is why if they give Abeokuta today, it may not get to its son in the next, and whatever Abeokuta brought in now will be sold the same day. So it may not be its turn again the following day or the next day. That is exactly what is happening. That's exactly what I'd like. We true that all of our vehicles from the north, from everywhere, we go there. All of us, you can imagine. So you go there, then we struggle to pass the same route to the depot. And the loading arm can only take one truck at a time. Just like in petrol station, the nozzle can only go into the receptacle. Only one vehicle at a time. So the loading arm will load. It will take maybe 20 minutes or thereabouts, or 15 minutes to load a full truck. And you can imagine how many trucks will they handle in a day. So that is the situation.
Now, if you go to the areas where this crude oil is being generated, we have so many illegal refineries, and what government does is clamp down on them and close them down. Now, if these illegal refineries can refine so easily, and we are destroying them, is it possible to rather empower them, or look at how they are doing they are refining this crude oil without all the technicalities that surrounds the major refineries?
Yes, I remember about 3-4 years ago, because this thing has been on for quite a long time, particularly the Niger Delta axis, and we have them, a lot of them there. and you need to see how crude the production could be when you go there and you see a particular facility. You know, it remains crude and it remains illegal. But what we have proposed as an association to the federal government is to find ways of regularizing them, sort of regularizing them, so that they could augment whatever we are having. If the product is available as we expect, being a producing nation, you know, even the prices could come down. I remember when we were selling 165, when the government said you can sell 165. Even some of our marketers are selling below that. I remember some people are selling 162, 163, 164, depending. You know, NNPC mega stations too. I think they came down by two naira, 163 or thereabout, 162.50 or thereabout. You know, because the product is available and everybody we can still say, from my margin, let me give off 2 naira, 3 naira to have more sales. But now that is not available. So so we believe that if these so-called illegal refineries, of course they remain illegal because they are not properly set up and they don't follow the normal rules. So, but what we have suggested to the government is to regularize them. We know them. Refinery is not something you can do under your bed. It's not done in a room. However small, however illegal it is, it will still occupy some space, which is feasible, and feasible and physical. So that government could go there. I think all the security agencies, they know their locations. They could tell them, approach them, regularize to whatever. What they buy in Port Harcourt is far higher than what you buy here. Even Port Harcourt, that have 2 refineries, you know. So it shows that even the product is not enough over there. And when you go to Port Harcourt, you have to be very to be very observant, that because some of this illegal production you are talking about may not meet the standard, the required standard for the petrol. And that's why you get there, you have these other products they sell by the roadside, you know, and all these SUVs cannot take them at all. You can't take your vehicle to Port Harcourt, for example, and you say you buy from the roadside. You may have problem with your SUV, you know. But if it's this old vehicles, old Peugeot, old whatever, it will take anything. So these are the issues surrounding that. But like I said, we have recommended that government should take steps to regularize these people. This year we heard that 80% of what is being produced in Nigeria is stolen somehow, and the only 20% is being exported officially, and you know the money coming in. So that's not a good news to anybody. And like I always say, we have security agencies all over. Name them in whatever nomenclature you have them. DSS, there so many. The customs are there, the immigrations are there, the whatever. So many uniforms. Some in even no uniform at all. They are there to monitor things, you know. But it's as if, like we said earlier, those who are supposed to do some things are not doing it. They are not doing it. And if once they are not doing it, and the people are taking advantage of what is happening, and you know, stealing here and there and there and there. So yeah, I don't know. The OPEC has even just increased our allocation. Like I said, we are supposed to take advantage. The world, particularly Europe, needs fuel. We know their weather. We know, okay, they said there's an embargo for Russia that used to be their main supplier. Russia now said, even if you want to buy anything from them, you will buy in rubles, not in dollar. And some countries have keyed into it, saying, well, look, forget about this Ukraine of everything. We will buy in whatever price. So, but Nigeria is supposed, that is what pains us. Because we are in the first 10 that these people need. but we are just not there. Just last week we read the report that Angola has overtaken us in Africa, and they have increased Saudi increased their price. They increased their price, they increased their volume just for them, because the people need their fuel. We have been there, we know the need for fuel over there. The price they are even buying gasoline now all over America, Europe, it should not even be mentioned here. Per gallon, we know how much they are selling in US. In London, if you are taking £1.9, £1.8 per liter, translate £1.8 per 8. 80 pence.
1,500.
You can imagine, when you translate to Nigerian naira.
But my own concern is our crude is a very special one, because we are specially blessed. You imagine during the winter, I know for sure that the burning light is the only crude version that can take the tiny orifices of their refinery there. So how can government? Our concern is, how can government actually take over what belongs to us? We are not even benefiting of what they cannot. We cannot get the crude totally supplied as indicated by OPEC. The people in that area are taking over their resources gradually. So what can government do so that these things can change? Is it what that's my concern.
Whatever is called government, I believe they know what to do. Unless they are just looking sideways. The government knows what to do. Honestly, our president happens to be a former minister of petroleum in Nigeria. He was a former minister, so to that extent he has that knowledge. And remember, he has not even relinquished that office to anybody since he came in. We only have Minister of State in Silva. So I believe the president as a person knows what is going on. To me, that is my own perspective, because the man is well versed in petroleum industry, being a former minister and even still holding to that post till now. So the agencies that are supposed to do their work, they are not doing anything, to me.
Now, don't you think that government is really truly losing control, and we should even be talking about fiscal restructuring and total restructuring, so that everybody will, as a matter of fact, take care of their resources and then pay something to the center?
Well, that position has been shouted. We have shouted about it. Even our leaders, even those who they could listen to, have already shouted about it. And I think it is the will. It's not as if somebody does not know what is good, but the will to do it. So even those who they could listen to, we are just talking here, but I know whatever we say here too is being monitored all over.
Yes.
They write report on it in Rock City FM. They are saying this, blah blah. This is what they said. It's not as if government does not hear what we are saying. Yes, they do. People talk and they do listen. But to actually do it, the will to do it is our problem. My own problem with them is that the reason of not doing it, they will not tell us. I expect a communication line to be established between the government and the people. But when you turn to their the propaganda machines, what you hear is only election, this, election, that, or Buhari has visited this, minister has visited that place, or we are commiserating with some people that have just been, you don't get the good news you expect. Get the communication back. Okay, the people are saying this is the reason why we cannot do it, so that we will know. They may have access to some knowledge that we do not have. They may. But for us to communicate back to the public, I don't know who's handling that aspect.
Some sections of our people have the thoughts that Nigeria is gradually losing grip and turning into a failed state, because by the time you go to the north, bandits are taking over. they have their camps, nobody is controlling them. Now you go to the south, these people are almost controlling their oil by stealing everything that is generated. What do you think our people should know before we go into the 2023 elections? Maybe voting can help us to get things right.
Like Oga Biduni said, it's as if nothing has changed. To me, 2023 may not be different from 2019 or 2015. The way I look at the whole thing, all this online and this social media shouts, we'll go for this, go for that. Some of them that are talking, they don't have PVC. Some of them that talk that they have, they will not vote that day. They will be doing other things. They will be on the field playing football. So we know our people. How many of us are the so-called enlightened? Even these people shouting on the social media and things. How many professors are fusing there talking? Or they are the boys, the normal boys, and we will vote them out. We will vote them. Yeah, but let us see. It's our hope. Everybody, just like Biduni said, we have just seen what happened in Ekiti. You are going to see what will happen in Osun. Those are the things that we normally will carry to 2023. 2023 is just in front of us. So
as a Southerner, and in fact as a Yoruba man,
yes,
and in Ipman, do you think there is any hope if somebody like Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu becomes president? Will there be a change, or you think it's going to be the same business as usual?
I won't talk as an Ipman,
okay,
because that's an association and all members have their leaning, sort of.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to ride on that. But personally, as Adebisi Bada, I tell you, I can only vote for those that I know will do it. I don't know much about Peter Obi, aside from what we read. He's a director of so many banks and so what. We have seen most of them there. The former director of the former MD of Oceanic Bank, we know how she went. So it's not a big deal whether you are a director of CBN or you are if present CBN governor. We never knew he has a leaning. He is leaning to a particular party. Now we have seen, to the extent that even INEC could not keep their what do they call it, sensitive materials in CBN of Nigeria. They could not. That is where some of the treasures that we have, we take them to the banks for keeps. But we are now losing hope in keeping our treasures in the banks. You can imagine what it is. So you see, it's not about who is this, who are you, what have you done, what is the pedigree that you have seen that we could stay. I know how Lagos was. Lagos was the dirtiest city in the whole world in the 80s. We know that. I remember this Wale Soyinka song. I forgot it now. You have that song in this studio. For Wale Soyinka song, the 1983-1982 song. Then I forgot it. I think it was done by Tunji Ilano and the band, but Wale Soyinka was the one. So. I forgot the song now.
What did it say?
That it was the dirtiest. Lagos used to be the dirtiest country. We were all alive. Thank God we are still alive today. We could compare. But we know how the thing turned somehow. That this guy laid a foundation. I've seen that. When Atiku was the vice president, I've seen what Atiku could do. And you can say you will be a changed man. Okay. So to me, that is personal to me. Like I said, it's not an Ipman issue. So that is personal to me.
You mentioned
before we actually go on with campaigns and elections and all. Ipman also came out some days ago to say that to their employees that if they don't have PVC, there'll be no salary. Do you? The
man is a loner. Whoever said that is a loner. He's on his own. We have told him. Well, it was according to him directing to staff of Ipman, that is, we have some clerks and things like that. Definitely not to the members. He was not talking to the members.
Okay.
But do you have the PVC, Alaji?
I do.
Wonderful.
I do.
Okay. Final question before we go on the break. I have one more question because we are very close to going on the break now. During the presidency of Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar was the vice president, and he was in charge of the economy, and they sold most of our heritage, so to say, at abysmal, at ridiculous prices.
Yeah. Bodolude, Elega, Shaje, Aziz Berekodo, for the past 4 weeks, the light has not come for just 1 second. I'm talking, all of us we are hearing, for the past 4 weeks, the roads are bad, everything. So, to me, if we are calling for privatization of this thing, and at the end of the day, we are having the likes of what we are having with the electricity, I will not support it.
Daybreak. The Daybreak Show.